go. Welcome in, guys. Hey, Stuart. Morning, buddy. Wendy, good morning if you're awake. Fun fishing adventures. Welcome in. Welcome to anything is possible. We are fishing over the flu. Got the rod set up at local park. Got to get them baited up and in the water. So let me go do that. Hopefully there's enough light right now, but the sun will be up in just a few minutes anyway. Let me get the bait in the water and I'll be back to chat. Got pack bait again.
What's on your phone? Picture of a heater to make sure you feel warm?
The phone, I'm on YouTube.
Okay. I think you put a heater on that to make you feel warm.
No. Nope, I got a little YouTube channel. They like to come and watch me catch nothing.
Hey, maybe the fish might come and watch the same channel.
Morning if you're just coming in. Just getting the bait rods baited up with pack bait and in the water. I'll be over in a moment. That's what we're working with right there. Of course, it falls right there. Fall. Oh, God. Try that again. Showed you that nice pack bait that flew right off. I had to put another pack back on. Might throw a worm on that end rod. If Kev left me any worms, that is. Oh, he did. All right, and we're in. 10 people already. Don't you guys have jobs? Good Lord. What's going on, everyone? Hey, there's Tammy. Welcome in. Good morning. And my awesomest shark members right there. Fun fishing. Good morning. Ray's still sleeping. Good for him. So's Kevin. I couldn't wake him up. In fact, I'm really hoping, like he was barely awake. I think he said he didn't want to go. I'm hoping he didn't want to go. He's been sleeping in since having the flu, so I really didn't want him out here. Yep, I'm feeling better. I'm going backwards through chat. Morning, Stuart, buddy. My other awesome shark member there. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing good. Hey there, Bass Fishing with Paul. Good morning, bro. How is everybody? We got 2 rods out here for carp. Could also catch trout. If you caught my intro, let me get this phone squared away a little bit better. Let me get the angle right for you guys. We've had almost 10 inches of rain in the last 2 weeks here. 3 weeks, I should say. So pretty crazy. Daz, good morning, bud. Welcome in, guys. Mr. and Mrs. Dina, good morning. Welcome in. Welcome in. I hope everybody had a good Christmas. Happy New Year. Good to see y'all. We're up at a local lake, just chilling. Hopefully get a bite before work. Got to go out and do some work here. Tammy, how was your holidays? You guys good? Man, oh man. Looks like we got the whole UK squad in here today. Welcome in, guys. It's probably noon over there, I guess. You're 5-6 hours ahead. Wow, this dam, it's really, the water's probably out 15 feet. You almost need a boat to get out to the dock. The water is so high. This is an old creek that flows past our house that they've dammed up here, and it's a huge reservoir just above us, and this is the smaller of 3 lakes. So, yep. Tammy said, good morning all in chat. Bob's crazy little one kiddos everywhere. Yeah, I figured. I know in Thanksgiving you said you were cooking for like 20 people. Yo, John. Morning, buddy. Welcome in, buddy. Good morning, good morning. You awake this early, John? I didn't know you got up this early. Was that last night you were out for crappie? I think you said Teddy's due down there. You were out last night? I saw you heading out, Finn. Small water, we're heading out for carp. That's what we're hoping for. That's what we're hoping for. Oh, man. A little bit lighter up. Check the tensions real quick on the lines. Now I can see what I'm doing. There's a carp. There was a carp rolled right there, right where my bait is. We're right on them. We are right on them. Let's hope they play. You know what? They build out my net. Little extra bell never hurt. Chilly here this morning, almost 70 on Christmas, 44. Yeah, it's warm here. It's about 40 here. Maybe a little below 40 now. It was dipping pretty quick. The clouds moved out. But I don't have my gloves on or nothing. Yeah, you guys can share yourselves out. Don't share anyone else out that's not in chat, please. It's just disrespectful. Unless I tell you to, or it's okay, or something that we're all working towards. Otherwise, keep it out of chat. Definitely a lot of fish coming up out there. That's a good sign. It's so murky. Don't know if they'll be able to find the bait, but The gift that keeps on giving. I'm glad you watched that, Stuart. I'm glad you watched it. Growing up, my dad would always refer to us as the Griswolds. There's a whole bunch of those movies. There's Christmas Vacation, Vegas Vacation, Summer Vacation. I'll bet you I'm missing another one. Vegas Vacation is where all the damn jokes come from. Fishing dam jokes. Yeah, Tammy, everyone's getting better. Pretty much all over it now. Kevin was probably the last one to recover. Yo, Brandon, there he is. You getting ready for Alaska, buddy? It's getting close, man. It's getting close. Days are getting longer now. You got to be getting amped up to go. And as soon as we cross, December 22nd, and they say it's the first day of winter, but I feel like it's first day of spring. It's just the tides turn. It's all longer days from there. Gets a little colder yet, but spring's coming. I hope we get some cold though. I want some ice to fish before spring. We haven't had good ice in almost 3 years. It stinks. Tilt that a little bit. Get amped up to get out of Ohio. I got you, man. I got you. It's funny, like, it's more of like a way of living. Like, I'm sure Ohio's not bad, and there's awesome spots in Ohio, but you just can't, like, speaking for Pennsylvania, you just can't hit, you can't do like what you want to do. You can't live the lifestyle you want to live. You're kind of controlled by the local economy, very, for the majority of it is what, limits what you can do. It's just funny that you have to go 3,000 miles to do something you really should be able to do 100 miles away, but the freedoms don't exist there to do it, or the economy, whatever you want to call it, doesn't exist there for you to do that. That's how it was for me anyway. When we first went up to Alaska, it was like I knew what I wanted to do, and God, I did that around here, I'd be thrown in jail. Squirrel! There's so many underrated scenes in that, Stuart. Go back and watch when Clark's wife, what's her name in the movie? When she's doing dishes, she's literally taking the plates out of the sink that are dirty, rinsing them, handing them to Clark. Clark is drying them and putting them right in the cupboard. And the dishwasher's wide open. He's not putting any dishes in the dishwasher. He's just putting away dirty plates. It's hilarious. Pigs, goats, dogs. Yep. Take care of those critters. Thanks for popping in, Tammy. Appreciate you. Have a great day. Tell Ray I said hi. I got to keep an eye on the clock too. I got to be at work at 8:30, so I got 7. So I got a good hour and 10 minutes. So yeah. Here it's government, a good bit of government. It's getting worse and worse. But largely economy too. Like you can't afford to live in a certain place. And then if you try to like build your own home, there's so many rules to it. which I get. I mean, I do get some of that, but people are dumb. That's the problem. People are just getting dumber and dumber, but you treat them dumb, they're only going to get worse. You go up to Alaska and you can build your own little cabin, and if you don't freeze to death, procreate and have kids. I had a dream of Alaska a few nights ago, Brandon. I still remember the first time we landed there, and it was like sight unseen. We flew in, and the first like 2 weeks we had no food but what was left in the cabin from 10 years earlier, which is all canned goods. And there was just like thin ice. We were just waiting for that ice to get out of there. It wasn't thick enough for us to ice fish. And we had to wait for that thaw. Man, it was sketchy. It was so sketchy. Thank God for the pike. Those pike came in with the early spawn, and that was all we needed. A few big pike. Good morning, Chad, bro. What's going on? It's cracking. The president, Chad. What's happening? Waiting on a monster. Been doing nothing but bailing the basement for the last week and fighting the flu. Three nights I've lost in the basement, pumping water. Yep, wall tent and 2 stoves. There's a lot of lessons to be learned in Alaska. You think you need a big house or want a big house. You go up there and build a big house. You're going to be chopping a whole lot of wood. It's a whole lot of room to heat. That's all I think of. Become a minimalist real quick up there. That was the other battle, landing in with no experience basically up there, except for I did a lot of cold winter racing, ultra endurance stuff, so I knew what I was in for, and I knew it was like almost impossible, like landing with no firewood, you know, no food, no firewood, getting dumped. I found out later, I probably told this story, but I found out later the pilot who dropped us off was taking bets on how long we'd last out there before we called him on the satellite phone. Outdoor Addiction, welcome in. Good to see you there, friend. Welcome, welcome. Up in Pennsylvania, just doing a little carp fishing. It's the time of year where we might just be watching rods, hanging out. Hopefully we'll get a bite. Everyone seems to be sick around us, so I hope you guys are safe. Take your vitamins. Alienate yourselves. We haven't seen any of our family since Christmas. We were sick right before Christmas, so we didn't go anywhere. And then my parents sound like they've got COVID or the flu or whatever you want to call it these days. So they're home now. So we really haven't seen anybody. Whatever I got from work. It's the only place I go. Fishing and to work. Time for a bacon, egg, and cheese, $4.25 right there. $4.25. I didn't want to wake anyone up at the house, so I just decided to hit the local station, gas station on the way. Little mom and pop place. I could give them some business. They make a killer sandwich. Homemade deal there. They do good work. I hear you, Stuart. I got this addiction though. This roof I like to keep over my head. I'm always trying to talk the wife into it. Could walk up to Alaska right now, walk into our cabin, never work a day in our life again. Or spend another 20 years busting our butt here to pay off a house. This blows me away. People think it's normal. Ooh, ooh, that was a trout hit. Have to give that a minute and then I'll have to check that. That's the worm, so that was probably a trout. Could use a trout fillet for lunch. See if I have any power bait. These are stockies, so got no problem if they swallow it. I'll just harvest them. Might throw some power bait on and let them swallow it. Turn the light off here. Bit it clean in half right there. Those worm hooks have little barbs on the back side of them, so I always put the worm on first, slide them up, and then I'll put power bait on. I don't have power bait. I have the power bait mouse tails, but I just take the heads off of these and use the heads. The tails I use later on a little jig. You've probably seen me use those. I don't like using them together. Call me crazy, but anyone in here knows Aiden Fife, heck of an angler. He taught me that trick. Never seen anyone outfish that dude. Basically just works like a bait stop. You guys hear that bell? I heard a bell. I don't know everyone's first name. Is Paul, is that outdoors addiction? I'm not the greatest with names. It takes me forever to learn them. And then I forget them sometimes. I just started calling Ray from Fishhead Videos. I started calling him Mark out of the blue. He became Mark. Now it's so hard for me to remember he's Ray. I keep calling him Mark. Ooh, come on. Let's go, baby. Hit it. Every time I bite my sandwich. It's probably the dang trout again, though. my breakfast down. We'll give it like 10 minutes and then we'll check all the baits, put new pack bait on and get them back out. The trout get hungry here, they start knocking the pack bait, and they can make it a little challenging to catch a carp sometimes. There's P&B, Paul. Welcome in, buddy. Good to see you, P&B Catfishing. There's Masha, Mayhem and Miracles. Getting little trout bites, I believe, which I don't mind catching a trout, but I'd like to catch a carp. And the trout tend to just make it challenging because they keep eating your bait off. And these are rigged for carp. Thought about bringing the ultralight, but what happens then, you get distracted by trout and you end up missing carp. So I don't know. I went for carp. You don't need it. You don't need it. You come into the U.S., they just ask you. They ask you 20. They used to ask you like 20 questions on the citizens test, but now it's just like 20. If you can recite 20 lines from National Lampoon Christmas Vacation, you're in. You're automatically a citizen. And if they ask you what your favorite beer is, you say PBR. We got 15 awesome people in here. Thanks for joining. Appreciate y'all. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you're coming in or going out. It helps the algorithms and helps the channel grow. We got a big trip next weekend. Yeah, there's some big carp in here, all right. Yep, our PB came out of here. There's some big ones. I like this spot because there's some big carp, and I don't see as many people hunting them in here. Some of the top reservoirs, they bow fish around here. But knock on wood, they haven't done it too much in here. And they tend to just target the big boys. I really don't have anything against it if you're harvesting the meat, especially around here, because most people consider them like a trash. Come on, hit that damn trout. Trout are gonna drive me nuts. Not gonna let me eat my sandwich in peace. Muskie, what muskie challenge, Stuart? What muskie challenge? What are you talking about? It was more like muskie fever. We saw a muskie and we went nuts for a couple of weeks, but snaps back to reality. It's good. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. You can only chase them so long. Don't worry, we're trying. We know where we saw them, and we make frequent visits there. Not all my fishing is televised. Masha, I appreciate that. You always shout me out on your lives. Appreciate that. I try to keep you running as much as possible. A lot of times I'll go 3 or 4 days where I can't like do anything because I'm editing in the background while working, and it's just got my computer all sucked up. But then the rest of the time I'm pretty much, I got people running all day long then. And I'm connected to a lot of people that are on your channel, so it's a good way to keep in touch with everyone, see what's going on, and help out the community. What I've learned as a small YouTuber is you can't just rely on the algorithms. You definitely have to network. You have to get out there. You got to show people who you are. The lives help show you who you are. You don't have to be live all the time, but you got to put a face. Just doing recorded stuff doesn't work. For me, it's a combination of like shorts, longs, um, and lives, like combo of all three. Seem to be what finally helped us get some type of traction anyway. Stuart, go back and look at our muskie, man. We got a muskie that basically spoiled us for life. You can't get a much bigger muskie, and we caught it in the most unlikely spot. We got laughed at when we fished for them here. We got told that they weren't in this creek, but I knew they were because I grew up here. Right? And they called it like local myths and legends. In fact, the guy at the local hardware shop, when I grew up back in like the 80s, had one hanging up. And people would lie and say, there's no way he caught that in there or whatever. It was an old coal yard. So it was like a super deep pit that the creek kind of took over. We knew there were some monsters in there. And it was like right where two creeks combined. And yep, they're in there. Anthony J, what's cracking, bro? Your hat's on order, bud. Your hat is on order. Hopefully it comes out. I got it from those companies that they make it and then send it out. So, yeah, man. I'm working on getting like a merch store set up. I just need a day with nothing to do and I can knock it out. That way people can just go and order what they want and I don't have to be involved with it. They can just pick out what they want and off it goes. But right now I gotta order them. I mean, I should do them in bulk, but it's too much stress. So I just do them one at a time, pay a little bit higher fee and then send it directly to whoever wants it. And then they calculate the fee or whatever. And their fees are pretty reasonable for shipping. The guy was looking for bulk, one of our members who lives over in Australia, and for me to ship it was like $30 something, and for them it was like $18 or $20 US. So that's not bad. I can't do that. I can't compete with that. So I'll let them ship it. That was the geese. Trading places. Is that the old one still? Or is that the old with the concept? The rich dude swaps places with the poor dude. Am I thinking of the right movie? It's like from the 80s. Let's hear everybody's favorite. What do you think your top Christmas movie is? Yeah, right. And then you got the customs to deal with. So that's why let the company deal with that. I mean, it's not like I'm going to be selling 100,000 shirts. These people that are like buying, having somebody reproduce their own stuff. It's nuts. Unless you're going to trade shows or something. I mean, basically, you're going to be giving them away. You're not going to be, no one's going to pay $40 for something. You're just going to give them away at cost. But center rod going with the trout again. Welcome in, Buying Space. We watched Die Hard this Christmas. That's my boy's favorite. Yippee-ki-yay. Such a great movie. It's such a great movie. It's definitely up there for me. That's definitely up there, Christmas Vacation. Oh, there we go. It was time to check the baits anyway. I think it was a trout, but hitting there. Yeah, story of my life, Stuart. Check that end rod and get that one rebaited and out. I'm gonna catch one of these water piggies. What's everyone doing for New Year's? Are we still talking about Christmas movies? I don't think I got everyone's Christmas movie. Home Alone's awesome. Home Alone is awesome. They're up to 4. Kevin is an adult. Reverend gets out of prison. I did not know they were up to 4. I know I saw the first 2. I'm not big for sequels of movies. Except for Sharknado, because they're just get more and more ridiculous. But yeah, we watch Home Alone just because my son's name's Kevin. Hey, Steven, welcome in. How you doing, Steven Merchant? Good to see you in here again. Yeah, they're biting, but I think it's the trout are biting. The carp usually just take them and run with them. Got the drag set loose enough that they can just pull the line out, just enough tension that they should hook up. But they stock fall here, and they're hard to fish from the side, so they tend to stay here. And you'll get, if you fish for carp for a few hours, you'll get a couple bites from the trout. Seems like every time I bring a trout rod and set it up, like I just get distracted from the carp fishing, and I might end up with 1 or 2 trout. If I'm going to trout fish, I want to get like 5 or 6. Fun fishing's heading out. Crappie and maybe walleye. Awesome, awesome. That's awesome. Always fun when you fish with the sub. That's so cool. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, happy New Year's, Masha. Happy New Year to you too. I'll catch up with you. Which one? Enrod? Look at this. They're gonna keep stripping me all day, aren't they? I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna let them hook themselves, I think. I will occasionally catch them on these setups, even though they're hair rigs. I'll catch trout on them. And they tend to be the big ones too. Yeah, that's cool, fun fishing. I had that happen when we were camping. This was like 2 summers ago, and we probably had less than 100 subs. And we were fishing, and I had the GoPro on at this local pond. And like 2 8-year-olds came up, and they were like amazed that I was a YouTuber, and they were chatting with us. And like 2 nights later, before we left for the campground, or left from the campground, the kids came up and asked for our autographs. It was pretty cool. Kevin was like, he was all thinking he was a superstar, which he is. I'm just the cameraman. Yeah, Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy. Yep. I know what you're talking about. That's a great movie. There's another movie I was thinking of with that where the it's not I'm trying to think who's in that movie. It's like a homeless dude, or real poor anyway, and somehow they give him like $1 million or something. He was a comedian. Harvey? Is it Harvey? No. They give him like $1 million. But what he has to do is he has to spend the $1 million. All he has to do is spend it. And the whole movie goes on. He's trying to spend it, but he's got so much money that he's just throwing it at things, and eventually some of those things start making money. And it's just like a funny, skeptical look at capitalism. Still best method out there. It stinks, but it's still the best method I've seen, by the way. But it is true. You have that amount of money, it's hard not to make more money. And he just keeps falling backwards into more money. Throws it at, gambling or whatever. He starts winning eventually, or he buys, somebody's like, oh, give me $100 for this. And it turns out the guy was inventing some dumb little game, and that, but he does it 500 times. So one of those 500 things pays off, and he makes another million on that. It's kind of a cool movie. Brandon's always working. 5 golden rings stand for the first books of the Bible. The 5 golden rings. Interesting. Stand for the first 5 books of the Bible. Candy Cane Lane is a good, funny one too. Zulu always on this time of year, 4 p.m. Year. Nice. Yeah, this is always a Stuart. I need some forward casting line to get it out here. That is a thought, though. I wouldn't mind coming out here in my boat and fly fishing from the boat, believe it or not. I think that might work. If I can get the lights working on my trailer, you may just see me do that That would be pretty cool if I can get out here before the ice. Borrow some of Kev's flies. Anthony J, that's the one I wanted to say. Bad Santa is awesome. That was exactly where I was gonna go. Bad Santa is one of my top ones. I work in a job where like this is the worst time of year. It is the worst. And I try to enjoy Christmas, but it's hard. I mean, I get called on Christmas Day. I've got projects like constantly. It's the worst. Most stressful time of year. And I get a little bitter. See everyone going out celebrating, and I'm like so jealous. It's just horrible. Horrible, horrible. So yeah, Bad Santa's great. That's it. When he's sitting there and that little girl comes up and he's the Santa Claus and he's sitting there in his lunch break, smoking a cigarette and eating a sandwich on his 15-minute Santa lunch break. And the girl's like, "There's Santa." And he just sits there with his mouth full and he's like, "I'm on my lunch break." That's that meme, man. I send that meme around my office all the time. That dude right there is my spirit animal in that scene. Not that it's right, but Charlie Pryor, yep. John Candy's in that too? Is John Candy in that? John Candy was awesome. I'm on, what is it, 7:30? Yeah, I'm going to cut out around 8. What time you going live? You going live today, Anthony? Don't wait for me, bud. I'll send everyone over when we leave, and I'll wrap it up around 8, because I got to go to work. Make the big money. Hooks and Hammocks, welcome in there, buddy. Good to see you. Happy holidays. Yep, bubble float. Yep, I know I could do that. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you, Brandon. That whole side of Christmas is just, it's rough. People can say get into spirit all they want, but we're busier, we work harder, and it's not even a whole 2 days off. It's more work than normal. I always get a call on Christmas. It's just more stressful than any other weekend to me. I don't need a calendar made up date to go celebrate something. It's just how I feel. I'll celebrate it when the mood strikes me and I have peace. I can enjoy it. How'd my camera get turned? Get you guys down that pretty view anyway. Pretty fishless view. Stuart, you know how we roll over here. We got to make the money. We don't have no holidays. We don't do the whole European holiday scene. We're free. We're free, man. We work 360 days a year. We're free. We just can't afford to live. Everything's a trade-off, man. Whatever country or government you live in, everything's a trade-off. You call it freedom, or you call it like whatever you want to call it. It's all a trade-off. You're definitely giving up stuff to live in a society. You get stuff, you lose stuff. You give and you take. I was afraid I was going to go into a big Grinch thing. Yo, if they stopped, Grinch gets a bad rap, man. If they stopped picking on that dude and left him alone, he'd be fine. They're down there singing songs about him, picking on the dude. Just let that dude have his little spot on the mountain. It wasn't hurting anyone. They were the agitators in that. That Grinch was just happy up there. They invaded his space with noise pollution. Poor guy. Hunting and stuff. Welcome in. Good to see you. It's morning here. It's just before 8. Still see the moon. The sun is not quite up yet, but it's getting light. 365, 24/7. Haven't had a holiday off in 19 years. Rough, man. Bad Santa, spirit animal. But tell me, does that not, like, if you watch Bad Santa all the way through, does that not have, like, that's like the Mary Magdalene of the Bible? Like, he comes around. It's not like he doesn't come around. I just like those guys, you know, a sinner kind of sends the whole Bible message home to me better than, like, you know, a lot of the other more happy movies, I guess. I think there's a lot more people that feel like Bad Santa out there than Macaulay Culkin or whatever. Macaulay Culkin's family. Yep, all good. All good. Getting ready to go to worst day of the year coming up for me today at work. And then it's all over. Tax deadline, everybody's gonna complain. Complain how much money they have to pay on their money. Explain why they couldn't get stuff done for the last 364 days and they got a call today. It's gonna be fun. Next week will be fun too, don't get me wrong. I'll tell them they're too late next week. That'll be fun too. I just couldn't get, the Jim Carrey Grinch movie was good. I just like the original. Really like the original Grinch. Lots of rolls out there. Lots of activity. Hoping we get a carp bite. I need to order some more fake corn. In these conditions when the trout are biting, the fake corn really stays on the hair rig nice. You get a couple of those taps on your pack bait, you know that corn's still sitting out there. What is a shred party? Going to a shred party. That's either like you're shredding, like rocking and rolling, or you're shredding documents. Two very different images in my head of what you're going to be doing. Sunfish King tournament, my standing, horrible. I had a decent week when I had the flu. I had caught 2 nice fish. I didn't even report them. I didn't feel like getting the tape measure. I had such a fever. Then the week before that, I forgot to report. So yeah, it's basically not happening. I might take a run at it the tournament's off this week and it starts up again next weekend. I'm actually going to be fishing. Keep an eye on, I may be fishing with Jeff Beal again down in the city this weekend. So we might go down there. Might be targeting like drums or walleye. And I'm really like to, you know, it's almost impossible, but I like to get on the cats. If I can figure a way to catch a winter cat, we have a chance of putting up some good numbers. Other than that, we have no chance. We can't compete against Dynamic and his big bass that he's pulling and he's killing it down there. Shredders are going to be burnt up. Christmas Story's a classic, yep. Shoot your eye out. Morning. Shredding can be fun. We got one of those in the office. At home we burn everything. Budget Pond. Welcome in. Happy New Year. Good to see you. We're only on a few more minutes. We're going to be heading out soon. Trying to catch a stinking carp here. Not sure where we'll be this weekend. Might be down in Philly, like I said. Gonna wait for Jeff Beal from Schuylkill Punch Anglers to let me know what he's thinking. I don't know if we'll be live on our channel or his channel, but we'll be live somewhere for that, I'm sure. Usually I just go wherever Kevin feels like going. Hey, good morning, Tasha. Welcome in. Good to see you there. You're doing good. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. What are you going to do with a carp? I'm probably just going to kiss it and let it go. Gonna do with a carp with what I'm going to do with any other fish right now. Unless I catch a trout and throat hook it. Then I'll eat it. But carp, I'm just going to let go. Just catch and release for him. I have a video out on eating carp. They're not bad at all. Definitely not bad. I don't want to go into the whole tangent of carp and the history of carp and eating carp. I'm not going to go down that path. But I got a video out there if you're interested in it. Check it out. It didn't take much seasoning at all. We cooked it lemon, butter on asparagus with fresh herbs from the garden. I'm telling you. Yeah, the bones are so big though. Once you bake it, I didn't even, I just filleted them. Baked it, and the bones just pull out, and they're easy. They're hard to miss. Pull them right on out. And I did one that way, and I smoked the other. Smoking, of course, was delicious, but I wanted to broil the one to see how it would taste that way. There's a huge difference in where you get the carp from. It depends where you catch them from, and that's the history you have to understand with carp fishing and why they were a delicacy at one time. It all comes down to the water they're raised in, what they're eating, and they were bred for taste. So you might take a carp out of one spot, it might be nasty, and you get to another spot, and they're good. I mean, zero fishiness. Of all the fish I've ever eaten, it's probably the least fishy fish I've ever eaten. But you gotta know how to clean them, you gotta know how to bleed them, and all that stuff. There's preparation. They were used as the food source to settle the West in the U.S. And that was the food when they first settled towns. First thing they did was dammed up spots because everything got fished out immediately with the whole Western expansion. First thing they did was stocked ponds with carp. That was like the luxury. It was only at one time only kings ate it. Yeah, suckerfish was actually really good too. Delicious. Almost everything. Oh, fresh halibut's killer, Brandon. Not only the flavor, the texture. You know, like it tastes like you're eating like shark, like where it's got that. It's got some sturdiness behind it. Fish patties are awesome too, Anthony. Ribs. Yeah, I made the joke on that video about like actually making carp ribs. We tried to harvest like a smaller one. Kevin really wanted to try one, so it was like 17 inches or 18 inches. Thought that was a decent size to harvest. Always curious on like other food sources, you know. The economy gets tight around here, and there's tons of those around, and they're just like nobody thinks about eating them for the most part. Just like geese Geese are everywhere, and they're good food. Well, why not? Why not harvest a few? Keith Doc, welcome in. Just heading out, but thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. One of our members there. Howdy, howdy. Good to see you. Happy New Year. What time we have? 7:48. Can't be late today. Cannot be late today. Lad tiring them out. We're wrapping up, guys. If you want to say your goodbyes and all, I'm just going to wait a couple more minutes. No worries, Stu. I hit the wrong button sometimes. I've been known to lock people out by accident. It's easy to do with these big fingers and small little buttons. Beautiful out here, though. Morning, Tasha. Morning, morning. Good to see you. See you later. Have a good day. There's so much stuff floating out there. I should get up. I'm so tired. I don't even feel like getting up to pack up. Maybe I'll just stay here and get fired. Thank you all for coming in. Appreciate your support. I hope you all have a great weekend. I'm sure you'll see us out somewhere. I'm really excited. I'm hoping we're able to hook up with Jeff Beal this weekend. Fishing with Jeff Beal, I think is his channel name these days. I've never caught a drum and I've never caught a walleye, so it'd be really cool to maybe catch one of those or both of those. I always pack up slow and hope they'll get a bite. Still exhausted from the flu. Hope I wasn't falling asleep on you guys. Whew. All right, Daz. Thanks, bud. I think it's the stress this time of year. I get sick every Christmas. I feel like everybody meets for Thanksgiving, and between then and Christmas, everybody's sick. All right, I gotta get to work. Don't work too hard, everyone. Thank you all for coming in. I didn't even finish my coffee. I'm not sure who's live. Anthony's probably live. He probably didn't want to tell everybody online, but I'll bet you he's going live. See if I missed anything before I shut it down. All right, guys. Peace out, y'all. Have a good day.